After a recent breakup, Momo Ayase encounters a bullied classmate who shares his belief in UAPs with her. They clash over differing beliefs, with Momo favoring ghosts and her classmate favoring aliens, leading to a challenge to prove which is real. Momo goes to an abandoned hospital while her classmate explores a haunted tunnel where he encounters the spirit known as Turbo Granny and becomes possessed. At the same time, Momo is abducted by an alien species called Serpo, who intend to extract her reproductive organs for their own experiments. However, Turbo Granny, possessing her classmate's body, intervenes, halting the alien's plans. Momo realizes her psychic potential, using her powers to escape and injure the Serpo, while managing to suppress the Turbo Granny within her classmate. As they recover, Momo and her classmate acknowledge that both aliens and ghosts are real. Despite her classmate's initial reluctance to involve her further, Momo insists on staying to help. Together, they decide to confront the Turbo Granny's curse. Momo asks him what his name was and becomes speechless to hear that it is Ken Takakura.
Episode 2 of DanDaDan begins with Okarun insisting his name is Ken Takakura, but Momo insists he should go by Okarun. Their playful bickering escalates when Turbo Granny's curse activates. When they arrive at Momo's home, Okarun is burned by a protective barrier around the Torii gate. Momo removes the talisman, allowing Okarun inside, and apologizes. Inside, they argue about Okarun's missing banana, representing his stolen masculinity. Their conflict is interrupted by an evil spirit linked to Momo's doorbell. They confront a giant sumo-like spirit that demands Okarun's banana. Okarun identifies the enemy as the Flatwoods monster, and they decide to fight together. Though Okarun struggles with control in his cursed form, Momo helps him focus. They try to wrestle the monster, but it gains the upper hand. Momo manages to reapply the talisman, defeating the monster and removing the barriers. The episode ends with Okarun, now cursed, looming ominously over Momo.
In this episode, a psychic named Santa Dodoria gives a celebrity reading, but is corrected repeatedly. Afterward, she takes a taxi home, but decides to walk, fearing for the driver's safety. Meanwhile, Momo is saved from being devoured by the Turbo Granny when her grandmother arrives just in time. She defeats the evil spirit, revealing that she set up barriers to protect herself and Momo. Momo wakes up later, worried about Okarun, and learns from her grandmother that she killed the Turbo Granny. Momo rushes to the shrine to find Okarun safe, but they have a comedic misunderstanding. Momo's grandmother explains that the Turbo Granny has become more powerful by merging with an earthbound spirit, and she trains Momo to help defeat her. Despite her grandmother's warnings, Momo insists on aiding Okarun. During training, Okarun struggles with his curse, leading to chaos as he rushes to the bathroom, which the Turbo Granny attempts to exploit. Momo's grandmother gifts them protective clothing before they head to confront the Turbo Granny in the tunnel, fueling Momo's determination to protect her loved ones. Okarun and Momo face the formidable Turbo Granny in a high-stakes showdown. Initially, Momo's efforts to attack fail when the Turbo Granny blocks their path, forcing her to rely on Okarun's cursed abilities. However, the Turbo Granny manages to regain control over Okarun's curse, rendering him powerless. Desperate, Momo distracts the Turbo Granny by challenging her to a game of tag, allowing her and Okarun a brief escape before things spiral out of control again. Okarun uses his cursed speed to save Momo from an earthbound spirit crab chasing them, while Momo devises a clever trap involving an onsen to slow the crab down. Ultimately, the duo escapes, but only after facing possessed citizens and a formidable fusion of Turbo Granny and the spirit crab. Momo's quick thinking, bolstered by her grandmother's teachings, allows her to trap and defeat the fused spirit. The episode ends with Momo, Okarun, and her grandmother revisiting the tunnel to pay respects, learning about the tragic backstory of the Turbo Granny's connection to the spirits of murdered girls. Momo and Okarun experience a series of miscommunications, beginning with a heart-fluttering yet accidental kiss. This unexpected moment brings both confusion and excitement as each worries about their feelings. Their attempts to reconnect during the school day spiral into a confrontation with Momo's friends, which results in an argument that strains their friendship. Okarun, feeling rejected, encounters an unknown girl who flirts with him only to mock him later, further complicating his feelings. Momo defends him by using her powers on the girl, signaling her loyalty. Okarun reveals to Momo that his balls have mysteriously vanished. They discover that the mischievous yokai Turbo Granny, previously exorcised, has taken refuge inside Okarun, bringing along her powers and the missing body part. The Turbo Granny challenges Okarun, demanding he harm Momo and her grandmother to reclaim his body. When he transforms using Turbo Granny's power, Momo's grandmother intervenes. Momo makes a pact with the Turbo Granny, promising her powers back in exchange for her help in locating Okarun's missing parts, so the yokai admits she has lost them. Late at night, Momo and Okarun Okarun search for the missing golden balls, which, according to the Turbo Granny, emit a powerful life force and have likely attracted a spirit or yokai. Unable to find them, they return home, where Seiko offers assistance and warns Okarun to control the Turbo Granny's powers. The next day at school, Okarun, caught between admiration and embarrassment, reacts defensively to a rumor about Momo and accidentally transforms. The Turbo Granny delights in his slip, further taunting him. Meanwhile, Ira, who found a golden ball the night before, plots a mission to save the world, but becomes paranoid about a mysterious woman only she can see. Momo and Okarun learn from the Turbo Granny about the risks the golden balls pose and a potential spirit's threat. Ira confronts Momo, leading to an intense scene where Momo defends herself with psychic powers. Chaos ensues when the yokai Acrobatic Silky kidnaps Ira, forcing Momo and Okarun into battle. Acrobatic prowess overwhelms Okarun, swallowing him whole, and threatens Momo until she uses Ira's rosary to ignite the yokai's hair. This forces Acrobatic Silky to release them, setting up for a counterattack. Okarun, carrying Ira in his Turbo Granny form, tries to escape from Acrobatic Silky, while Momo thinks of a way to stop the yokai. The crowded building makes it difficult, but Silky catches up and separates Okarun from Ira. Momo's plan works when Silky's damaged hair gets stuck in the beams. Momo uses her psychic powers to hold Silky down and tells Okarun to attack. Although unsure, Okarun uses his speed to hit Silky, defeating her and allowing them to get the golden ball from Ira. They soon realize Ira has died after being attacked by a yokai, and despite their efforts to save her, it seems too late. Acrobatic Silky, now standing up again, offers to help by transferring her aura to Ira. Momo doubts her intentions, but Silky shows her sincerity by ripping out her mouth as proof she won't hurt Ira. Momo agrees, and during the process, she sees Silky's past as a mother who lost her child and later became a yokai. Moved by this, Momo tells Okarun not to attack, believing Silky's intentions are genuine. Ira then awakens and, in a heartfelt moment, embraces the yokai, who she now sees as her protector. Momo invites Ira to her house after their conflict with Acrobatic Silky. Momo apologizes for their rocky start, but demands Ira apologize to Okarun for her past actions. Ira denies holding a grudge, but accuses Momo of being a demon and a rival to defeat. Ira's belief is reinforced by Okarun's Turbo Granny transformation and Seiko's youthful appearance. She questions why Okarun saved her, and his response, valuing kindness, leaves her conflicted. Okarun regains his golden ball during a chaotic baseball session with Seiko and Turbo Granny. The next day, Momo grows suspicious when Okarun avoids her to work on a report, but catches him in a misunderstood moment with Ira, who had awkwardly confessed her feelings. Hurt, Momo avoids Okarun, but their school is soon trapped in a supernatural space. Momo faces a snake-like creature, while Okarun and Ira battle a crab-headed alien and the Serpo, who plan to steal Okarun's reproductive organs for his powers. Ira awakens her Acrobatic Silky abilities, saving Okarun and embracing her newfound role as the chosen one against the aliens. Ira saves Okarun from danger but gets embarrassed seeing him without clothes. The Serpo realizes Ira has superhuman powers like Okarun, so he sends the crab-headed alien to fight her while using psychic powers to attack from a distance. Ira dodges the crab alien's attacks and fights back, but gets trapped by the Serpo's psychic powers. Okarun tries to help, but is also caught until Momo arrives to cancel out the Serpo's abilities. The three team up, but Ira and Momo argue over Okarun, causing a brief distraction. The Serpo then powers up the crab alien, making the fight even tougher. The battle shifts underwater as the Serpo fuses with Nessie, creating a massive, powerful monster. Momo, Okarun, and Ira work together to fight the creature. Momo uses her powers to weaken its arms, while Ira's hair helps Okarun get close to deliver the final attack, splitting the monster in half. With the fight over, they escape back to school, but are shocked to realize they're still in their underwear. Embarrassed, they run away as their classmates stare in surprise. After the school fight, Momo, Okarun, and Ira explain themselves to the nurse, but are left alone when she gets a call. Ira reveals she awakened Acrobatic Silky's powers during the fight, likely because she has the yokai's aura. Okarun thinks aliens target people with yokai powers like him and Ira to boost their technology. To avoid more trouble, Momo lets Ira blame the incident on her. Later, Okarun explains the misunderstanding with Ira, but Momo teases him for trying to impress her. Their talk is interrupted when Momo's friends show up, spreading wild rumors about what happened. Meanwhile, Ira feels guilty when her classmates insult Momo based on false rumors. She admits she lied and asks them to stop. Later, the Dover demon shows up but collapses from exhaustion. The group helps him recover and learns he's trying to save his sick son. Okarun offers to sell his kintama, but Seiko discovers the demon's race uses milk as blood. She gets a cow for him to take home. Grateful, the Dover demon promises never to harm them. Later, Momo is shocked when her childhood crush Gigi shows up at her door. Momo is surprised to see Gigi again and learns from her grandmother, Seiko, that he'll be staying with them because his parents are hospitalized. Gigi reveals he's haunted by an evil spirit and came to Seiko for help after other exorcists failed. Momo agrees to take on the task herself, as Seiko's powers are limited to their city. This also hints at a possible connection to Okarun's Kintama, deepening the mystery. At school, Gigi flirts with classmates, annoying Momo and making Okarun feel left out. During lunch, Okarun sees Gigi making Momo smile, which makes him think she might stop caring for him. Suddenly, an anatomical doll with a shiny ball appears, and Momo believes it's Okarun's Kintama. A wild chase begins with Okarun transforming to save Momo and Gigi. They discover the doll, Taro, was protecting a female doll, Hana, whom he loves. Watching Taro's devotion makes Okarun realize his own feelings for Momo, leaving him both flustered and determined. Okarun persuades Seiko to let Hana stay at the Ayase residence. The dynamic among the group shifts, with characters like Gigi and Taro playing significant roles. Seiko reluctantly agrees, setting boundaries for Hana and Taro's relationship to avoid upsetting the neighbors. Meanwhile, the group prepares for their next mission to cleanse Gigi's house of a haunting, with Seiko sending Momo and the others to Gigi's village for the task. On their journey, Okarun struggles with his feelings for Momo, especially as Gigi charms her with snacks and lighthearted banter. This sparks a friendly rivalry between Okarun and Gigi, but a surprising moment of mutual respect emerges when Gigi declares Okarun his friend. Upon arriving at Gigi's house, they notice suspicious figures watching them from the woods. Inside the house, they find a mysterious room filled with talismans, foreshadowing the presence of a lurking spirit. As Momo unwinds at the hot springs, oblivious to being spied on, Okarun and Gigi put their rivalry aside to face the eerie discovery together.